Hi, I'm Louis Woolman, and I'm here with Bcycle, what we like to call the Magic Bike, part of urban bike sharing. We call it the Magic Bike because, like all bike sharing programs, it's a bike when you want it, it's there, and when you don't need it, it's gone. You don't have to worry about maintaining it, locking it, taking care of it, worrying about it. And it's good for people who live in the community, and it's good for people who are visiting the community, such as tourists. Even if you already own a bike sharing can help. Sometimes the bike is upstairs, or you're worried about locking it, and the bike sharing is on the streets when you need it, where you need it. We're promoting bike sharing here in Portland today, and in general, Trek Bicycles is one of our partners, and they have their One World, Two Wheels initiative. We just want more people out on bikes. This whole Bcycle is a corporation, a for-profit corporation, but it came out of the desire of the partners to promote biking in the communities in the United States. Humana is one of the partners, along with Trek and Crispin Porter Boguski. They were inspired by the experience and success of the bike sharing programs in Europe and wanted to bring that to the United States. Created this company to develop the technology, and we're ready to launch our first full-scale program, the first full-scale bike sharing program in the United States, in Denver in 2010 when the snow melts, and we are very excited about that. And we just came this weekend to Portland to show off where we are and what we're doing, get people interested in bike sharing. It's our belief that in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, every city will have a bike sharing system. It'll be like your bus system. Nobody will think about it anymore. There'll be buses, there'll be subways, there'll be light rail, there'll be car sharing, and there'll be bike sharing. It will be in Portland, it will be in Chattanooga, it will be in New York. It'll just be part of the urban transportation mix.
So Louis, tell us some about the bikes, and if we had Bcycle in Portland, how you check out a bike, or if the people go to Denver, how they'll use the bikes. So let's talk about the bikes and the system.
Bcycle's following the same model as some of the other companies out there doing it. We'll have stations that are off the grid, untethered. They don't have to be bolted down. They're not connected to electricity. They're solar powered. And if you're a member, if you sign up for an annual membership, you'll have a card. You'll present that, I shouldn't say present it sounds like there's a person there. You'll present it to a machine at the dock. It will release the bike for you. It's tied through the internet to a big data server. It knows who you are, where you checked out a bike. You return it to any other station. The stations are hopefully located close enough that they're always within a 5 or 10 minute walk of where you want to go. And if you weren't already a member, if you were a tourist or just wanted to try out the system, you could approach a kiosk at one of the stations and use your credit card to get access to the system. And the business model, or the way that the payments work, is the first 30 minutes of the rides are free for anyone who's a member or a short-term subscriber, and then there's charges if you keep it for more than 30 minutes in order to encourage people to keep the bikes in circulation. These are urban transportation systems, not bicycle rental systems.
Okay, well, let's look at the bike quickly, and just kind of anything you'd like to tell us about the bike.
Sure. Bring it out here a little bit. So this bike was designed by Trek. They went over to Europe, they looked at what was being used over there, and they came back and they did a bunch of things. They created a basket to carry goods. They put a lock in there so that during your rental period, you can rent the bike without a station being nearby. They put a front dynamo generator hub on there, which runs front light and rear light. The rear light is under the seat, and the wiring all goes through. The wiring all goes through the bike itself, so that there's no exposed wires. They put a capacitor in there so that when you come to a stop,
we're gonna have a musical interlude here, I think.
There we go. When you come to a stop, the lights remain on while you're at the stop for safety. There's a quick release to adjust the height of the seat. We believe it works for people from 5'2" to 6'5". They have drum brakes, not disc brakes and not rim brakes, so that when it's wet, you get the same braking power as when it's dry. It's very heavy duty. It's got a skirt guard and a chain guard, so you don't need any special clothes. And it's got, this model here has 3 speeds with an internal gear hub no derailleurs. They can come with an 8-speed as well, and of course they've got a bell and fenders. I didn't mention fenders, but that's what makes this bike an urban bike sharing bike.
Great.
And it's made by Trek. Anything that they got wrong, they'll improve upon for the next version.
So we're running out of time here, Louis. Just tell us, if you can, if Portland was to pursue a bike sharing system, why should they choose Bcycle?
Well, I think that the thing that's different about Bcycle as compared to the other people doing bike sharing in the United States is that we have a very strong emphasis on the social, human, and community dimension of bicycle sharing. And we do that by putting, we don't have it on this prototype, a little black box that's a GPS trip tracking computer, so that each ride that gets taken is recorded, and then on a personalized Bcycle webpage for each member, it'll list each trip, the miles they rode, the calories they burned, the carbon they offset, the average speed, all the things that a GPS can do, and it will include widgets that allow